Hi, my name is Uffe Flarup. I'm the technical lead here at Multiscription, and today we're going to take a look at how easy it is to put the Unleashd SDK into a Unity-based mobile game. Let's take a look at it. First, let's go to the Unleashd developer portal, where you can find the documentation as well as the latest SDK. We're utilizing the external dependency manager for Unity. There's a download link here. Next step is to download the SDK as a Unity plugin and go into your Unity game and import it as usual through import, custom package, and pick the file that you just downloaded and import all the files in that package. In the Unleashd SDK is a sample scene which shows how you integrate the SDK into a Unity scene. Here you can also see how you can activate and deactivate a test subscription right in Unity Editor, so you can test all callbacks and all functionality without having to make a mobile build. First step is to initialize the Unleashd SDK in your game. You probably have a bootstrap scene of some kind where you initialize all the third-party code that you need in your game. This is also the place where you want to initialize the Unleashd SDK. Call unleashd.is supported to determine if you're on a platform that the Unleashd SDK supports. It'll return true on mobile devices. And then you would call unleashd.instance.init. Here we're just copy pasting the init string from the sample scene. You can do that as well and then just modify the parameters accordingly. And then set up a callback for when the plugin is initialized. We have an onReady callback that will be fired when it's done. And then that is all you have to do to initialize the SDK in your game. Next step is to remove all the interstitial ads and all the banner ads in your game. You can keep in the rewarded ads. In this game, we have a place where we preload all the interstitial ads. And here we want to check if the player is a subscriber. So we call unleashd.instance.hasSubscriptionBenefits. And if this one returns true, then you know that your player either has a trial or is a paying subscriber. And if that's the case, we don't show any interstitial ads to the player. Final step is to add an Unleashd button in one of the main scenes of the game so that the player can click on that button in order to open the Unleashd window and see the benefits of your game. So let's find the canvas here and add a button as usual, UI button, and call it Unleashd. And we need to make it a little bit bigger so that it's visible on the screen. 300 high, and let's move it down a little bit so it's the way of the other UI. And we have included some Unleashd logos in the SDK as well, so we can quickly pick one of these logos to put on the button so that there is an Unleashd logo on it. Next step is to create a script to put on the button. Let's call it Unleashd handler. And we stick the script on the button in the usual way as we do in Unity. And let's double click to edit it. And let's start out by using the Unity's UI system here. And let's get a reference to the button on this game object. Get component of type button. And when that UI button is clicked, we want to add a listener to that one. Let's call the listener Open Unleashd. And in the Open Unleashd button listener, we want to open the Unleashd pop-up window. And that's done easily with unleashd.instance.showPurchase dialog. And here you have to pass the product name, and we do that with application.productName. And then we can pick a theme color. Let's use the gold theme today. And that's all you have to do in order to open the pop-up window. Let's save the scene here. Last step is to verify that the integration works. So let's go to the Bootstrap scene and start our game. And we can see that clicking on the Unleashd button will open the debug menu here in Unity Editor. So let's activate a subscription, start the level, and then verify that the player no longer sees an interstitial ad between the levels. And as expected, the interstitial ad has now been removed from the player. Thank you very much for watching.